Fuck you! Fuck you! You! You!
And right now, the Maui community is helping the Maui community. And it's really affected me because where's the president?
Wow, he's finally here! Wow, yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks for nothing.
He decides to come here this week, to come here next week. I mean, like, where aren't we Americans too? Like, we're part of the United States, but why are we getting put in the back pocket? Why are we being ignored?
Biden's belated Maui visit goes off the rails. Thanks for nothing. Protesters shout at the president, who waited 13 days to visit the fire-ravaged island, which was the greatest that we've seen in our lifetime. Hawaiians shout F you to Biden as he visits fire-devastated island and compares the deadly blaze with a house fire that they said was put out in nearly 20 minutes. Take a look.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
Now, if you thought that was bad, Biden gets generous and cuts a one-time $700 check to all Hawaiian fire victims. Wow. He is slammed as having this as a slap in the face to Hawaiians. President earns even more criticism for being out of touch following his Maui stop, riddled with uncomfortable moments. Wait till you see some of these and take a look at this. Did Joe Biden fall asleep again? Debate erupts all over social media at the Maui Memorial as they're saying it took him 13 days to show up. They're shouting obscenities at him. He shows up and says, wow, the ground here is really hot. Says he can relate because he almost lost his Corvette and his cat one time in a house fire that was put out after 20 minutes, and then shows up to the memorial for the survivors. And there's footage going around saying that he fell asleep. Take a look. Let me know your thoughts.
We are a community that relies on family, on ohana, whether by blood or by friendship. But like many others, my son's home burned down. My daughter's home burned down.
Now, if you're not a fan of Joe Biden, you're probably going to want to see this video because it is going to fuel the fire. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the events and things that took place in Hawaii, the lack of response, and the people of Hawaii are just very upset with President Joe Biden. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this is good reason? Do you agree? It took him 13 days to respond. I share with you video footage as he had a ton of backlash because he was asked about the fires, asked if he was going to visit. He said no comment. There's nothing to say there. Said that he was on vacation. He would deal with it later. Showed up and then went back to his vacation in Lake Tahoe. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But we're going to dive into this. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. And also, if you missed yesterday's video, you're going to want to check it out. Stick around to the end as we're also hearing about lockdowns that could be coming right around the corner and for something that you did not expect. Stick around to the end for an update on that. But you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. Do me a favor if you appreciate the updates. Don't forget, smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? I'll let you know about everything going on with Congress, the economy, Social Security, anything that could impact or help you and your family. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so a link in the description below to this article that came out yesterday that says residents of Maui welcome President Joe Biden, who waited 13 days to visit the fire-ravaged islands with shouts of F you. As President Biden's motorcade on Monday drove through Maui, protesters blasted the president's slow response to the wildfires that have killed hundreds on the small Hawaiian island. Wow, he's finally here, one said. Yeah, thanks for nothing. Multiple protesters joined in shouting F you to Joe Biden. Other Maui residents displayed signs that said Biden took long to visit, with one reading, Trader Joe must go. Biden arrived in Maui almost 2 weeks after the wildfires had started. The fires, which were likely caused by downed power lines have killed at least 115 people and left another 850 people missing. After arrival, the president, who called the situation an unimaginable tragedy, joked, "That's some hot ground, man." While Biden initially addressed the devastation after Hawaii officials signed an emergency declaration on August 8th, he then went days without mentioning the fires. When a reporter on August 13th tried to ask a beach-going Biden about rising death tolls in Maui, the president said, "No comment," and he had a ton of backlash for that, as days had passed from the fire, and he said, "No comment, I've got nothing to say about that." That lack of response has complicated White House and mainstream media efforts to depict empathy as Biden's calling card. Biden has already hurt that image by never visiting East Palestine, Ohio, the Republican voting town devastated by a chemical spill back in February. One Maui resident appeared on CNN to rebuke Biden's muted reaction. "Where's the president?" Ella Stable-Tackerton asked last week. "Aren't we Americans too? We're a part of the United States. But why are we not? Why are we getting put in the back pocket? Why are we being ignored?" Biden reportedly appeared to nod off when others were talking about the tragedy. He did attempt to empathize with wildfire survivors, however, by saying that he had a little sense of what it's like to lose a home because he once had a small fire in his kitchen. The fire department that responded said that Biden's kitchen fire was insignificant and contained in about 20 minutes. Biden had a different take. "I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat," he said, laughing. Now, Joe Biden did cut relief stimulus checks for Hawaiian victims from the fires of $700, and he is getting backlash for this as Biden's one-time $700 checks to Hawaii fire victims slammed as a slap in the face. Now, this article says that Joe Biden earned more criticism for being out of touch with Americans during his bumpy stop in Maui on Monday, including scorning for providing measly $700 assistance checks. The White House announced that each affected household in Hawaii will receive a $700 check to address immediate needs, including water, food, and clothing. But it's a sum that many islanders consider insulting. Hawaiian residents and politicians say a paltry $700 check to each family impacted by devastating wildfires isn't going to cut it. And some residents even held up signs during Biden's visit on Monday comparing assistance to Ukraine and Hawaii. Wow, let me know your thoughts on that. Biden passed one poster that read, "Really? $7? Another resident wrote, "Actions speak louder than words," and there were multiple no comment signs after the president repeatedly declined to comment on the tragedy last week. To date, Biden has approved $8.2 million in assistance to 2,700 households in Hawaii, but critics were quick to compare that to the $12.1 billion in security assistance that has gone to Ukraine so far this year. Former Democratic Hawaiian Representative Tulsi Gabbard slammed the $700 checks as a slap in the face. Unfortunately, again, there is a trust deficit because not only have people not shown up, but it was almost a slap in the face of the people there when the big announcement from FEMA was, "Hey, we are going to give you a one-time payment of $700. Anybody who has been to Hawaii knows that $700 does not go very far at a time when so many have lost everything. Elderly families in Hawaii are basically computer illiterate, which may explain why some people are being turned away on their applications for FEMA assistance. Another user wrote on Twitter, now known as X, "So out of touch, people have lost everything they had, including loved ones, and he stood there cracking jokes and made it all about him. Still cringing." The 80-year-old capped off his disastrous 5-hour tour by asking a rescue team whether their boots were reinforced, noting that this is hot ground under their feet in a tone-deaf attempt at humor. Wow, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. They're saying the greatest fire that our U.S. nation has seen in this generation, and it took him 13 days to show up. Got there, made jokes, looks like he might have fallen asleep. They said it was very tone deaf, and then cuts out one-time checks of $700 to all the fire victim families. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, we had some pretty shocking news come out yesterday. If you missed it, check it out right here, as there are talks about lockdowns coming back again. This is being discussed in Congress. Check out this video next if you missed it. And you guys, I will keep you up to date on everything so you know exactly what is going on. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.